Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. A little bit of a reversal off of the lows of the overnight and pre-market trade. The 5 a.m. reversal, very strong Central Time, especially in the ES, the NQ, and the YM, all three rejecting here on those lows and turning around pretty solidly here to recover the previous session's low. This bounce right here could develop into a bit more of an upside move, especially following the strong low pre-market here, and that move could take us at the very least back toward the previous session's midpoint. That right there would be 60.31. If price can push beyond 60.31 and close beyond that level, that could give us a pretty good, decent, strong low to the recent strong high, and that would suggest a bounce back to the middle of that impulse move. So right now, early, cautious, strong lows developing here as this market kind of sees a rubber band effect after being stretched to the downside. We may snap back a bit. Again, 60.31 will be the previous session's midpoint, maybe even see a little bit more beyond that level depending on how strong this market is. Again, we're still in a downtrend in the short term, so after this move here, watching for signs of another perhaps sell the rip type of opportunity for bears as they look to continue to extend this down move. Alright, looking at the NQ, similar price action for the NQ, selling pressure in the previous day. Morning strength was defended here, as we mentioned, could be the case. That led to some selling pressure. And now here, another developing strong low, especially in the 5 o'clock time frame. On the 5 o'clock and the 60-minute time frame, that right there, a nice little rejection here. Impulse sell-off. Do we get a little bit of a bounce back up above? Again, if we did see a little bit of a bounce back, the previous session's midpoint would be a big time target to reach. That's 21,610. 21,610. We're currently at 445 here. Could be looking at a 600 move up ahead, and at least as a day trade opportunity. Again, given the downtrend over the last several days, any morning strength here could be seen as a selling opportunity for bears looking to turn this thing back down. Alright, taking a look here at crude oil. Crude right here continuing to show a bit of back and forth. 70 to 74 is the larger range. We saw a little bit of a bounce the previous session to keep 70 intact. This morning here we're seeing a little bit of a failed high and a pullback, but really this market maintains kind of a downtrend overall for the day. A downtrend for the last month and a half, and is holding barely above the $70 level. So 70 gives out. That's what's finally going to open up that lower support zone between 66 and 67. But holding 70 right now could get this thing back towards 73 as this market continues to chop around that CVPOC for the meantime. Looking at gold, this was down 0.7% here, down within the 5-day developing compression. That's building some energy here. What we could be looking at here very soon is a failed new low, maybe a turnaround, and a push into 3,000 and perhaps beyond. This market continues to honor the 8-period PEMA, that right there, that 8-period pivot-based EMA, and that has been big-time support. Even if price pushes a little deeper into that PEMA trigger zone, bulls have been defending for a rotation back up. So despite the one-day weakness right now, this could still be a buying opportunity for a short-term perspective back up toward 3,000 on a swing basis. All right, looking at YM. The YM here putting in a decent low as well. That early low occurred really right off the previous session's low and off of the previous week's low. So the low is 419, yesterday was 420, today 390. So price pushing below both of those pivots here, and then finding a lower low failure and a strong low. Again, 5 a.m. Central Time hour, strong low and a reversal off that low for right now. This could turn into an outside day up as of right now. by taking out the previous low and currently being right at or just beyond the previous day's high, midpoint. That'll open up the previous day's high up above. So you're looking for a move back toward the previous day's high. That takes you as high as 43,825. And then the previous session's midpoint will be 875. So somewhere between 825 and 875 could be a good near-term target for this market here. Still in a downtrend right now. If we do see those highs, it could be pushed back into the range below. But right now showing some short-term strength here off these early pre-market lows. Looking at Bitcoin, major flush for Bitcoin. This thing down 5 1/3% and hit our 88 target today. The low coming in at 86,770. And this is what I've mentioned with this one before. All this compression right here would likely see a flush or some sort of flash crash event, and it takes us down into the 88 to 90 zone. Once we get down there, it's either a snapback to 100 or we're going to see a big time follow through to the downside. Are we about to see a follow through to the downside? Again, we've talked about 90,000 being the big time area of support here. 110, big time area of resistance. That's a 20,000 point trading range. A little bit of a rounded top here. If we fail at 90, it opens up a rotation back towards 75 below. That could be the next big bounce point. So big time test of the edge right now. Like these other markets, we are seeing a bit of a strong low develop here early on. At least a decent enough low. 4 a.m. hour, and this market's worked off of that level. 88,000, the key level here. We're at 88,885, so we're pushing back above. Once we start getting above 90K, it could begin to turn into a bit of a wick reversal, and perhaps even turn into another G squat here. That would be bullish for a short-term rotation back up. So keeping an eye on this area right there. Ethereum down 8 1/3%. 8 1/3%, big time drop. Not quite as low as the recent low here. This low only coming in at 2320. The idea was for this one to drop into 2200. So well off those levels. Right here is 2200. That's your recent low at 2262. 2320 right now. We're at 2420 already. Is this as low as we go right now for a bounce back? The early idea was to flush out this prior low and then start to bounce back a bit, but a higher low could work as well. Again, a strong low coming into play this time around 1 a.m. Central Time, and then turning higher. So this one, like Bitcoin, could begin to turn into bullish wick reversals by the end of the day. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.